Hi guys, I'm going to give you a little bit of information about the energies this week. So that's the 17th of October through to the 23rd of October. We've made it through most of the retrograde challenges that we've had these last few weeks that have been intense revisiting of patterns and wounds and situations, people, places, and things that's been very painful and difficult. And we did have Mercury finally go direct. However, as I mentioned last week and even the week before, we've had the effects of Mercury all the way through this kind of tail end of Mercury, which ended today. So basically, it's sort of starting a new territory, a new chapter today, the 17th, which should give us a little more freeing up on some levels. The end of the week is also the end of Libra season. So we're going to be moving into Scorpio season. This entire time has been a very transformative time, and there's been a lot of loss. The last couple of years has been a lot of loss that many of us have been having to deal with. And if it isn't an actual loss, a death, a person or a pet, perhaps a job, an identity, with everything that's happened with the pandemic, we've just really had to almost be overwhelmed with this loss. So even right now, what we're going through is the death of self. So it's like the death of the ego, which can really affect how we're feeling about ourselves, and we could feel very overwhelmed, very traumatized. The key this week, we've had all the mental chatter and opening the throat chakra, and this week it's like we're being broken open. Our hearts are being broken open, so everything's very raw, and we want to do everything we can to help protect and strengthen our hearts this week. We still have Chiron, the wounded healer, in action, and what this is doing is it's just breaking us down to build us up. So we will come out of this stronger. However, the key is going to be to feel it. So if you are feeling trauma, if you are feeling pain, if something happens, try to stay with it. Try to breathe through it. Try to feel that pain so that it doesn't come visit you later. Going to be very important to try to stay in the moment, stay in your body. And because this is our last week of the Libra energy, Libra again is the scales, and what we've been kind of going through is the tipping of the scales. So like the dark and the light, and bringing up the shadow, and trying to find our balance with a lot of planets going retro and not having as much support as we might have normally had. So we've had to really go through it and feel it. So what Libra is challenging us to do is make peace with the trauma, make peace with our pain, make peace with what we've had to go through. So this week, whereas we've had a lot of activity, mind chatter, distractions, fogginess in the brain the last several weeks, that's sort of what we've been dealing with, and kind of being able to speak our truth and throat chakra stuff. This week is all about the heart. And it's intense. So there's just going to be a lot of vulnerability, a lot of rawness in the heart. We've all had to deal with so much loss the last couple of years, and there's even more loss that we're dealing with right now. So even if it's not a specific death of a person or a pet, it could be a death of a job or an identity. It's really like the death of ego. It's our past identity. And dealing with these kinds of losses is one of the biggest human struggles and most painful things we can deal with, especially when it's accumulated, where we've, or even dealing with a loss of freedom, which we had for a couple years. So and many of us still, there's still some restrictions on that. So this sort of theme of loss is going to be quite triggered this week. Also with the Libra energy, it's going to be very intense mirror energy. So you might find that just getting in the vicinity of another person, you're going to feel what they're feeling and you're going to mirror that back to them. So that if they're in a crappy mood, you might pick that up quite quickly and then, you know, mirror it back, and vice versa. People might do that with you as well. So just be very aware of that. And try to stay in your bodies this week. Try to not disassociate from things or use things that might numb you. So whether that's alcohol or drugs or eating too much, or even, you know, it could be chemicals within the brain, like if you fight with somebody or you get really aggravated at something, it creates, you know, stress hormones, and the hormones can be very addictive as well. So this week you're going to feel a lot. You might, you know, feel like you need to cry a lot this week. You might feel trauma this week. Try to feel it. Try to stay in it, as painful as it might be. And if you need to just stop and bawl your head out, your eyes out, do that so that you don't have to deal with it later. So as much as you can, try to deal with it here and now when it hits you, because you will have quite a bit of empowerment if you're able to do that. We actually, our psychic abilities, our intuition, whatever words you want to use, become very strengthened when we endure pain. Yeah, fun fact. But that said, you know, the more intuitive, and we're also heading towards, you know, the veil is becoming thinner and thinner every day now, heading into Halloween and Day of the Dead, All Saints Day. This is when the veil is the thinnest of all time during the year. So we're really able to connect with the other side, with other dimensions, with messages, pay a lot of attention to symbols that you might get. You know, if there's certain insects that land in your house, or, you know, as you're walking or something like this, look it up. If today actually there was a grasshopper hanging out since last night, hanging out on my wall and on my window. So, you know, look up, you can type up like Native American animal totem or something, or totem, and type in what you see, if it's a deer or, you know, something like this, because you're going to be getting a lot of messages that are, first of all, going to let you know you're not alone in this world, but also it's going to really strengthen that as crazy as things get, that there's more to this, and that there is magic, and that you, again, aren't alone. So you can feel strong in the fact that you're going to be able to get through this. Okay? So along with that, some of the, you know, as we're shifting and awakening and coming into these new energies, these new chapters, new territories, you might have, you know, symptoms or side effects from bringing in more frequency into your body. So you actually this week could potentially feel like your head or your heart is going to explode. You might feel ringing in your ears. You might feel burning on your lips, piercing or ringing in the ears. These are all signs and symptoms of activation. So just know that might be a normal thing for you right now this week. As always, try to stay grounded if you can. My nose itches. You know, I think last week I had mentioned to do this extending the exhale breath. So if you inhale for 4 or 6 and then exhale for 8, 10, just exhale as long as you can. Hold the exhale out at the bottom and then inhale again. So when you inhale and exhale through the nose, this will really help you stay grounded and be able to, you know, I remember a saying I heard years ago, the best way out is through. We want to stay in our bodies. We want to go through the trauma, through the pain. So not the best way through is out, but the best way out is through. So this will be your focus this week, and you will get through it. And as always, if you need any assistance or have any questions, you can reach out, info@frequencyfit.com. And please like and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Click the bell notification so that you receive a notice when I post new videos. It helps me a lot. It helps the algorithm. So I appreciate that very much. And wish you a very beautiful week. It's heart chakra, heart chakra, heart chakra. So you're gonna, be really feeling your heart, but your heart's gonna be coming into a whole new level of vulnerability and strength. But it might feel a little raw first. All right, Satnam. See you soon.